Welcome back to another episode of STUFFCAST. I think we're on 8, right? Is this STUFFCAST 8?
Something like that.
Yeah,
I think
I think it is 7. Yeah, 8. Sorry, 8.
It's in the O's.
Oh, gosh. Sorry, that was terrible form. Where did we last week? We left off at I was a cheeky little slimer. I hadn't watched Midsommar last week, so I had to watch it, obviously, and I think we'll just update with our thoughts and do a bit of a spoiler talk on it briefly before we carry on with today's podcast.
Sure.
So none of us have any cheeky slimer cards left, apart from Luke. Although Luke, is he using it because he's not here today?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't
no,
think so
because Ben's missed one.
he would have watched. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, all right. So, Midsommar. I'm fairly certain I watched the theatrical cut, not the director's cut, so that might have affected my my output. But I think there are some fundamental things I didn't like about it anyway, such as the main actress is Florence Pugh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. Po-faced, fucking screw-face, fucking wee, fuck off, shut up.
Oh, I love Florence Pugh.
Just fucking cries away through the fucking film. It's really
It's a very good
Pugh.
performance.
I think the fucking the setup for that character is great. The whole car exhaust, that's horrible. That imagery is
It's a great opening.
It's so daunting. And like I checked the brightness on the screen I was watching it on because I didn't know, because like this film is so weirdly fucking dark at the start. Like,
Yeah.
but that worked really well actually.
I love the jump. Yeah, it's a really nice contrast to later when it's obviously daytime and stuff.
I just like that set it up really promisingly, and I was like, okay, this character's having their sad moment at the start.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll. You know, I expected her to change over the film because that tends to be the case when you watch a film. But no, she just cries.
She does change.
And she just keeps crying.
Well, no, I don't think that's.
She might
exactly
change
fair.
a bit more in the non-theatrical cut.
Possibly.
Yeah, she does. There's much more.
I think I watched the
Alright.
same version as Joe.
Oh, okay.
Which might
Was it 2 hours 20, Tyler, when you watched?
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple more like character moments where she does change her mind and stuff.
I guess I'm guessing in the director's cut there's more because in the theatrical cut there is literally no scene in which she has any character growth. She
really
just sits and cries. It's literally just that for the whole film.
Well, that's crazy because I'm talking from the director's cut.
Yeah.
There's a good 4 or 5 scenes of
Okay,
her.
that would probably help understand.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm just sitting there thinking like the same thing keeps fucking triggering it, and I'm like, okay, well, people dying. Why wouldn't you just leave? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why?
No, to be fair, that guy does try to leave, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Well, the couple tried to leave, don't they? Well, they all
the English guys. I just don't. I feel like you'd be a bit more
clarted.
I feel like you'd be a bit more suspicious a lot quicker. I would anyway. Like,
also, I'm not sure if this is in the theatrical, but it is like they are constantly being drugged by or like the food
that
and
is
stuff.
in the theatrical.
Okay,
That is in the theatrical. Yeah.
So that definitely contributes somewhat.
Just don't eat it. I wouldn't fucking eat it because like the food doesn't even look very nice.
Yeah, but Joe, but then you're being a tight ass and they're on a cool summer getaway. To be fair, I really loved that whole. It's in the director's cut. There's stuff that enforces it, but it's the whole like buddy holiday. You know, like, oh, dude, let's go to this deep festival, and then it just goes completely bonkers. I think a lot of there's a deleted scene of some banter like they have on the way there, and it's really funny. It's a shame actually. Again, the director's cut is purely for the to avoid the NC-17, and it was just too long. You can't have a 3-hour horror film in cinema unless you're it, because it is exempt from.
Can we not talk about it, please? It really upsets
Can
me.
Can we just specify it too? Because the first one isn't awful.
It's
the first one's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't want. They're two very different films in terms of their quality. Pele, the fucking like the long black haired like Swedish guy.
Yeah.
Incel. Like he's
He-
massive.
I wouldn't say he's an incel. He's a simp though.
No, sorry, simp. Yeah,
Yeah,
massive simp. He just started. He just started necking on. Like, what the heck? I was like, wow, you are cringe. Like the whole thing. I was like, he was like, bro, no, don't. He's like, hey, you're so sexy, bro. My parents died too, bro.
It's brilliant.
You're so sexy when you cry, bro.
That's an accurate description.
Yeah,
My
amazing.
parents died too. Let's make out.
Imagery, obviously, imagery / cinematography, production design. Yeah, it's really great. But the aesthetic becomes a repetitive crutch, I believe.
Okay.
I think there's only so much of the same buildings or the same type buildings you can see for like 2.5 to, I guess, in the Director's Cut, 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
2:45. Yeah.
I was just getting a bit fed up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I didn't want to, like, because I like the whole folk horror like look and stuff. It's really nice, but like the whole flowers thing and the whole like wooden symmetrical buildings framing everything with door frames and windows and stuff. I was like, yeah, can you like have some shot variation? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's really nice. All the kind of pushing the camera like into like from a wide into like a conversation and then or like into a building was really nice.
Yeah.
It's really well done, but like the shots aren't varied enough for me.
Okay.
It was a really nice refresher whenever it wasn't like pointed at like a fascia of a building.
Yeah.
And even then there was just like, bro, flowers, bro, or like I don't know, I felt like I like the idea of a film set in like one place. Like some of my favorite films are like films set in one place, but like there's something about it felt like, obviously because it's so much more overblown, because of the whole point of the sort of look of it. It's all, you know, it's like their culture. So it's going to be like a lot more pronounced, and I get that, but like it's very hard to watch that same kind of thing over and over again. I found it a bit wearing, but not in the way of like, oh, you're going on a journey with these characters and being worn out. It just kind of got a bit like, you know.
You see, obviously, again, you may see the director's cut and feel the same. But like,
this is the thing. Like, there's certain things that I can see being amended quite easily.
Yeah, the thing for me watching the director's cut, it definitely felt like a journey, along with the characters. But then again, it may just be my interpretation. You may feel similarly when you see the extended version. But yeah, funnily enough, I think 2 or 3 of the added scenes are all at night time as well on the place, so that does give quite a nice bit of shot variation.
Nice to see, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, like, this is the thing. It's like the theatrical cut is like constant daytime. Things just start happening, and they just continue to happen. And I'm like, right, okay, where is this going? It's just like, oh, bro, the people are doing something weird, but we don't quite know what. Oh, what's going to happen to our main characters next? This happens. Oh, where did this go? Like, you're just being led on for the whole fucking film, and I'm like, can you get to something interesting? Because I feel like there are some shots and there are some bits in the film that kind of they present themselves as better than they actually are. I find there's an arrogance at points where it displays something as if it should be some kind of spectacle or something interesting, and it's just not. It's like really like wilted payoffs to certain things. So it just feels like a really long, monotonous like. Okay, come on. Can we finish? You know, when does it?
Fair enough.
Like I think there's a point when they like close the eyes of the guy. He went into that. This is the bit thing, right? The imagery is really not like when the guy's like strung up in this shed and he's got like the
flowers for eyes.
The flowers for eyes. And he's got like, I think are those his lungs or his rib cage like out of his back.
His lungs,
his lungs.
I think it's really nice. And then when he shot things like when he closed his eyes, I knew it wasn't the end of the film. I was like, fuck, if the credits roll, I will be so happy. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I was really tired.
What did you think of the practical effects, Joe?
I think they're right. I think they're better than they could have been. They could have been worse.
Because like the elderly, like just the elders.
Yeah. We talked about the
when they jump off
cliff scene, yeah.
Yeah, and then when they burn the bodies. Those are horribly realistic.
Horrifically realistic.
It could be in the fact that when I was watching it, it was just like on my monitor, standard definition, 1080. Well, that's high definition, but like they just seemed weirdly real, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the bodies.
Yeah.
We like
especially
that.
the way that the head caves in.
Yeah, when he caves his head in,
and the legs.
That was really like well done.
Yeah,
in a practical sense, but at the same time, I don't know. I felt like it was just shock value. Like I don't know.
That's the issue with it.
I feel like it's like, is it? I don't feel like the film had earned it at that point. It was a refreshing scene, and I knew it was going to happen, and the actual tension it built was really, really great. I'm not like the tension in that scene when they're going up to the cliff, and it's like the shot reverse, and she looks down at her, and they make eye contact, and that's really great. That's really well done, like suspense-wise. But then and they fall off, and it's like okay, this hits the rock. Okay, violence, that's horrible. I can live with it, right? But then they're like, oh, time to get the hammer out and smash it. And I'm like. Are you fucking? I'm like, are you serious? I'm like what? That's the point where it went over the edge of being like, okay, this is a weird thing in the film, and this is setting up something really tense and horrible.
I think the idea of him not quite dying is to set up that they all feel the same. If that makes sense, because when
I get that, but then they don't hit him just once in the head. They hit him 3 times in the head.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I think it's also it's reaffirming quite like the ending where where the guy screams once he's on fire. I think what it's affirming is that these people are just loons, and because for me the whole thing they're like, it's the ritual, it's an honor and stuff, and then you see him fall off the cliff and he's like in pain, and then they're botching killing him. It just shows they're all complete loons.
I feel
that's probably why
the thing that I appreciate about it is to realize that I feel like once. It's that point of no return of kind of like religion and stuff, where you believe so much and you put so much into it, and then you end up there's a point where you can't go back, but then you realise that you fucked up. Basically.
It's liberating for the character, because it's the freedom of insanity. At the end, Danny is really free and happy.
I saw it as them not basically just complete the moment that they started feeling pain that would just override their belief in any of these customs.
Yeah, exactly. Because a really nice touch at the end is that the 2 guys who are actually alive in the temple at the end when they burn, the one gets given something so he won't feel pain, and the other one gets given something I forget, different, and then the opposite happens to them. So the guy who gets given something for pain is the one screaming when he catches fire, and then the other one is not be afraid, and but he is afraid, and it's like it just shows that they've all your beliefs leading up to this, and then it's not worth it in the end. So I think that's a really clever there's lots of little clever things throughout the film and stuff.
Yeah, I think
reaffirming
it deals with nihilism well in that sense. Like they're like the hopeless. There's very little like everything you believe in is pointless. I like how I do appreciate how it pokes fun of just like the Swedish in general. I find that funny. Just like the whole there's weirdly perfect, hilarious.
It's a wonderfully cathartic ending, because again, as I say, she is free and she has finally found happiness and dealt with her grief, but it's through losing her mind completely to this cult. So it is I forget the way he phrases it in the script. There was a lot he writes in the script. It's like, it is horrible and it is beautiful at the same time. And I think Asta's very good at that. Is mixing the kind of actual catharsis with you going, what the fuck did I just watch? But it makes sense. Yeah.
He's very good at pulling goofy shots as well, because there's one goof moment on the cliff scene. Luckily it happened early in the scene, so it didn't break my immersion.
Yeah.
But when it's the shot that's top down and she's looking up at the sky.
Yeah.
And it was clearly had a lot of VFX cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
That I was like, oh no, it's Ari Aster back with his goofy fucking shots. But obviously Hereditary. Yeah. In my opinion, there are some shots in that are goofy.
Yeah, it's I believe it's an 8 million budget, so it's quite a
no, it's for the budget. It's really well done, 100%. you can't fault it, especially like the production design. As much as I feel like it gets old, it's still really well done.
Yeah, I think one of my favourite scenes is I don't know if it's cut again in the theatrical, but the dance scene as I was presented.
Yeah, the dance.
I feel like that was a perfect kind of little microcosm for the rest of the film, because it's
that scene I think would have been better if it didn't come at a point in which I was totally fed up.
Fair enough. No, I can.
Because by that point I was like, fucking hell. I was like, all the interesting characters have gone. You know.
It is an exhausting film. Yeah. I just think it's a really excellent exploration, I think, of grief and sort of how people. It's also it's one of its central themes. Obviously, is the toxic relationship that is central to the film, and it's kind of like being in that.
With the bro, you know, you're so sexy when you cry, bro.
No, not him. Her boyfriend, her and her boyfriend, is a horribly toxic relationship, and it's like that codependence without any.
Yeah, and then there's like another toxic relationship.
Yeah, it's an excellent depiction of that, and I think that is probably one of the major central themes of it, is dealing, or at least being trapped in that relationship, and obviously leading to the insanity and stuff later. It's the gaslighting and stuff, and the way he manipulates her, and it's just like it's a
that's
really
why
well
I
done.
didn't really care, because everyone was just horrible.
Yeah. Do you know what I think it is? What he's going for? It's like one of those 80s slasher, like Friday the 13th and stuff, where all the characters are like to a degree quite douchey, like the teenager stuff. But then it's like you're invested because it's this whole romp and all the violence and stuff.
But they're like based douchebags because they're like doing PhD studies or whatever. And
that's really funny.
What happened to Black Panther, man? Not Black Panther, Black Mirror. Mr. Bandersnatch.
Eyebrow Man.
Yeah. Oh, is that a director's cut as well? Okay, I won't. I don't know. Should I spoil it for you? I think.
No, don't.
Yeah, I won't spoil it. It's a really funny payoff. To be fair,
the last time you see him in the director's cut is he gets dragged away by Shagalicious woman, I guess. The one he was eyeing up the entire time.
There's a really important scene. That they cut for his character, actually, that explains his fate, and I'm actually quite upset they cut it, because not only is it the funniest scene in the film and it perfectly sums him up as a character, but it also explains why he gets bookied.
He was the only character that I was like who I liked, because like when he was like pissing on the fucking ancestral tree.
Yeah, it's just funny,
I like the black guy, and then him, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the guy, the fucking I don't know what I don't get is like he's sitting, like the boyfriend is like sitting on the grass, and then he gets given like a cup of what is clearly piss. It looks like piss, and he still drinks it. Like this mysterious.
He wants to get laid.
This Swedish maiden is just like, yeah, drink my piss.
Is it in the theatrical where she puts a pube in his food?
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
It's just funny. It's a very funny film.
I don't understand why it's funny. Like the pube in the food. I didn't get it. I was like, right.
It's just bonkers for that. They consider something like that an actual tradition. They're like, it's a sign of them, and it's like, imagine just sticking some pubes in someone else's food.
Did you not see at the beginning, Joe? There's like this long scroll that they just pan across, and it's like a really horrible medieval drawing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Woman snipping her pubes off, and it just starts bleeding.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
That scroll is really funny. Just that in itself.
That stuff I really like the occult illustrations and the paintings. I found that better than the actual buildings.
Those actually describe the plot of the movie, that opening scroll, and throughout the film there are several paintings and stuff in scenes that also.
Yeah, no, I noticed those. That's what
movie details.
That's what held it up. That's what held it up for me. Like the things that held it up were like the subliminal kind of pre warnings and stuff.
Yeah.
If those weren't in the film, I would 100% call fucking bullshit on this. But the tapestries and stuff was really nice.
Yeah. I think it's a really well put together movie. I
got two more pet peeves that are kind of intertwined.
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to shoot them off?
The kind of group screaming, group crying, mega cringe. Like I just cringed out a lot of that. Like I was like, okay. I was like, fucking. I get it when she's like breaking down, after seeing her boyfriend banging that the banging the girl in the shed, right?
She looks underage, by the way.
Yeah,
I think she might be. Again, it's a Swedish.
I'm fairly certain that was the idea.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
I that's what I did respect. I respected it. Kind of went weird with it, like dark and in that sense. But like when she's crying and that's a good bit. That's the only bit where it worked. But everywhere else, where it was like where people started doing like group like screaming or whatever, or group like grunting, I was like, why? I was like, this is really cringe. Like, I found it really cringy. Like, it took me out of the film.
Again, I think it's supposed to, because I think Asta based that off behavior from some actual like cults or stuff, like some actual past documented. Like, it's just such a bonkers. It's a bunch of people just start screaming. Again, it does. I think it is supposed to evoke that kind of uncomfortable kind of.
That didn't annoy me as much as this one last thing, and then I guess we'll move on. And I'll give a rating, and then we'll move on.
Sure.
The fucking the weird breathing thing that they do at points.
Explain, because I don't
like
quite...
the kind of like
right,
thing.
yeah.
They do
like
it
a
a
weird
lot.
calming thing, isn't it?
They do it a lot throughout the film, and the first time it happened, it freaked me out, and I was like, okay, that's weird. And I was like, cool. That was a nice sort of unsettling thing that I didn't really need to see, but it also kind of made sense. But then they just kept doing it frequently, and then it just became like a, bro, that's so spooky and weird, why they breathe like that kind of thing. I was like it kind of got a bit like, can you do something else? Because like, you can't just keep being like, that's not normal, that means they're weird.
Is that meant to be them praying or something?
I don't know.
Because that always seems to be like before a moment of like...
It was. It was definitely a pre-warning, which I appreciated the idea behind it, but I'm like, it's like so fucking. But sometimes it didn't quite preface like a moment. Sometimes it just happened.
I've got an article here that I believe someone involved with the film wrote specifically about the breathing. So I'll just read a little excerpt from this because it might help. Here we go. In contrast, the breath in Midsommar, the "ho" sound that
yes, that's the one.
Only appears after the solstice festivities begin on the are coming for people on screen. Asta notes the same, explaining breathing is just like a form of punctuation for the Haga, which is obviously the name of the cult or the tribe or whatever. It's funny in the trailer. Oh no, hang on, he talks about. Yeah, okay. This kind of ritualistic breathing has been common throughout human history. He says he based it on like the Maori haka, a synchronized tribal dance. Ritualistic breathing was often used to get people hyped for competitions or events, whether it was war or sports. In other cultures, it's kind of like to induce a trance state of calm and stuff. So, and then also he linked it to breathing in and out were thought to exorcise evil as part of like the Catholics' medieval rituals and stuff. Like there was a specific like breathing technique. So he obviously did his research on a lot of sort of like religious, like the occult and like witch hunting and stuff, because it's all tied into that. It's the idea of them kind of like psyching themselves up, because every time it appears in the film, it's like, you know, they're about to do some booky shit.
I guess that makes sense. I kind of respect that, but at the same time, if I knew that, because like there's a student who researches this kind of stuff and he doesn't like, I guess he never sees it.
Yeah, I suppose Asta, he could have been like info explained it through that character, but I think he probably just found it a little bit like more unsettling if you didn't know what they were doing.
It was unsettling once, and then it happened again, and I was like, right. Yeah. It's like, I'm like, you can't just keep doing the same fucking thing. I do appreciate how it breaks cliches, XYZ, fucking no jump scares, blah blah blah. It's unique in that sense, and you have to appreciate it for that. But past that, I found like it goes too far in one direction of not quite being an effective folk horror. If you look at it in contrast with another folk horror, the Vavitch.
Or something like the original Wickham.
Something like that. It's like it doesn't quite work as well. The Witch is so focused, whereas I feel like this has it covers a broad area. I think it may have been overly ambitious or not quite well thought out enough to kind of. So I would say my final rating just closes off 6 out of 10.
Oh, fair enough.
First hour was an 8 out of 10. I'll give it.
First hour is excellent.
The first hour 8 out of 10. But like as soon as it got past that first hour. And unfortunately for the majority of the film, the last hour 20, I was like, it just collapsed for me. So but I mean I guess I would say obviously 3's a pattern, right? So if Ari Aster's third fucking film is also like pisses me off, I just probably will stop watching his films because I don't think I get it, to be honest.
He yeah, a lot of the. It's funny you should say that about the first and stuff. There's like 1 or 2. Yeah, there's like 8 or 9 scenes they had in the director's cut, and 1 or 2 of them are in the first hour, but the rest are in that middle, and and like 1 or 2 at the end. So it's majority that middle. It sort of reinforces.
Shows what a studio. They might have Alien 3'd it. You never know. I'll definitely check the director's cut out at some point. I
think he had a lot of creative control, to be fair, which I found really surprising. In that, he was basically given free reign.
24 aren't exactly tyrants, are they?
No, and after Hereditary was a box office and a critical success, they were like, go for it. Because, I mean, they only gave him 8 mil. Something like Alien 3 had like 40, 50 million, you know? So it's like, it was a bit more dosh involved, especially for the time. He said for his third one, he wanted to do, like, he would come back to horror, but he wants to do something a bit different. He said he wanted to do like either like quite a zany horror film, like a George A. Romero zombie movie or something. He didn't say zombie, but he said he wanted to do that kind of zany horror, like Evil Dead.
Like the Crazies.
Yeah, Evil Dead, Crazies, you know, stuff like Cabin in the Woods maybe. Or he said he wanted to do like a big melodrama, like
He's good at that.
Yeah, so again, he said it's going to be a bit different, his horror stuff. So yeah, you're right, Joe. It could be something you like or not, you know.
Yeah.
Not for everyone. Completely respect that.
I also just want to mention that I did actually up my rating from what was a 4 to now a 6.
Lovely.
Just because over the week I've thought about it, I'm like, yeah, I respect more and more of the film.
Yeah.
So it's technically like pretty much it's watertight technically. So
it's a very respectable.
I can't be too
film,
angry
technically.
With it.
Yeah. It's the I think it's like the content, the actual like story content people either connect or don't connect with. Because technically it's very impressive.
Right. Especially for the budget. The budget's impressive, but yeah, let's move on to my surprise topic. Which Tyler kind of knows about, because, but I'm sure, I'm not sure if you're aware. I just want to talk about this because it's something I'm outraged. I'm not gonna lie. I am fuming. I'm fuming over TikTok / Twitter photography.
God damn it.
Fucking hell! What? Right, I'm explaining the kind of photography I mean, Ben, because
yeah, I'm gonna need some context.
Okay, so like it's like people they just put like a they put like a trainer in the middle of like a park at sunset, and they just throw water on the floor, and then take a really low depth of field fucking photo of like.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. I don't know because I know people have been complaining about it on Twitter but because like loads of people are doing it on TikTok. It's fucking irritating. It's so annoying.
To put it bluntly, Joe is fuming.
The new £20 notes in circulation.
Yep.
Yeah, it just came out, I think.
£20 too. Just came out.
Congratulations, pound note.
Yeah, I'm.
What's wrong, Joe? What's wrong with the photos?
I can't rationalise my fucking.
When you first see one of these photos, what's the first thing that you think?
Fury.
Tyson Fury?
Because it's just a hype beast, like holding something up to the camera, and the camera's just like, yeah, low aperture, and it's like, bro, photography, right? It's like,
can we get some visual examples?
I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find something. Sorry, I'm literally scrambling to find examples because I've realised that I think Tyler knows what I'm on about.
Absolutely. Because TikTok is like, oh, I'm going to do this thing that I think is cool, and then just that video just gets like, to put it quite bluntly, raped by people who are being funny, ironic. Like, oh, I'm going to make fun of this person, and then just do what they do.
Yeah.
Like to the T. Which like isn't good for the original person because they're not learning anything,
man.
and then that's not good for the other people.
Just going through Twitter, I hate Twitter.
It's
I can't face Twitter. I hate it.
What I think Joe means is people who are, to put it lightly, amateurs with camera and the way that a camera works, and then going out and trying to take photos of things that would look nice usually.
It's like the like they like throw something at the camera and just take a photo of it while it's being thrown at the camera. Something.
Yeah, I see a lot of
and
I haven't seen the exact examples you're talking about, but there's stuff on like Instagram where it's like I get recommended these like filmmaker things where it's like these people and what they do is they film oh, it's so hard to describe. There's the guy holding the camera and they like pan out of a water bottle or something.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's always a water bottle. It is always a water bottle.
A water bottle or like some dumb item, and it just and the camera's like spinning and it's like super cinematic, and you're like, oh, it's ugly to look at.
They have like a water bottle, and then they throw their water on the floor like this. And it's like, this is how you do photography, and it's like some fucking guy with like a chin strap fucking beard, looks like Friar Tuck, and he's got like that like flat fringe. He looks like a forex trader.
So basically, people who pretend to know camera tricks, whereas it's just like quite a simple.
Yeah. But like and they're like, bro, look at this photo, and it's like this fucking yeah, hang on, here we go. I found it on TikTok, #photography tricks, and it's like people just taking a photo of like a puddle, and it's like, yeah, man, reflections, man. You know?
Oh dear.
Yeah. And they're always in like central London, as if like anyone who lives in London actually goes into central London, unless you're going to Lego Shop. Big up.
Okay, yeah, we got an example.
This is an example.
This a watch.
Or it's like people on Photoshop doing like really shit Photoshops, like really bad, like really cruddy Photoshops, or like they're like lighting a flare or something. Like, and it's just like, all right, that's just illegal, lighting a flare in like a public area. It's like,
is it though? What if you're trapped or lost? Let's say you lose your parents in a Debenhams.
I kind of want to. No, like, don't get me wrong. I want a flare. Okay.
To be fair, just having a flare gun, that's going to give you like major credit. Because how many people do you know have a flare gun?
It's always like it's either like some hype beast white guy or like some like rich Asian.
What with a flare gun?
And they're like, and no, they're doing the photography.
Oh,
it's like some like rich Asian. He's like, I'm from Korea, but I was brought up in Paris, and I do good photography. and it's like they're like French Korean. They're like Balenciaga trainers at €800, and they like start flexing. They got like a chain. They're like, damn man, my chain.
Yeah.
And they have like a Canon 1D with like a battery grip, and it's like, damn, fat camera. It's like shooting auto though, because you're fucking simp mode. Although I just don't get it. It just outrages me. I'm gonna.
It's flex photography.
It's literally flex photography. I think
it's hype photography. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's easy clicks because like it's like you could do this too kind of thing. Like because you just splash your water bottle on the floor, put your trainer there. It's sunset. It looks nice because of the time of day, not because of your photo.
Yeah.
They just have a ludicrously expensive lens that's like, damn, Daniel.
Or like they'll show off the image and they'll have like a how-to on a page or channel, and then because that shows like interaction on their page, that sort of boosts them in the meta.
Yeah. Right.
So like they're trying to play the game, but it's not like, you're still just being a cringe-ass fucking dickhead.
Oh man.
Anything else to add?
No, I think
it's just a disease.
We've covered hype photography quite well there.
It's just a bit of a disease, really, isn't it?
It's a disease.
Oh, speaking of disease, how you doing with Plague Inc. right now, Joe?
I'm doing good.
Do you want to talk about your recent custom?
Oh no, I already know what this is going to be.
Fuck's sake.
Go on, Joe, talk us through
it. You baited me out, man.
Well, I want to hear you try to explain it.
Okay, I can't really, can I? I bought the Plague Inc. custom scenario maker because I'm a horrible.
No, it's really funny.
it's really funny because I am working on random chimp event, but the simian flu is much harder to like gene edit than
Have you got this? Have you got this on the Steam one, or is this an app on your phone?
It's just in custom scenarios. So if you have a version of the game that has the custom scenarios in it, you can play.
Yeah. Where do you play it? Do you play it on your Mac? Or
I have it on my Xbox.
Oh, so yeah, you got the. Oh, nice.
Okay, so I'm not being funny, but Dark Souls Nameless King Deprived speedrun just started playing.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I just had a massive attack of noise. Sorry. Oh god, how do people play Dark Souls 3 with no armor? It's horrible. It makes me feel I'm incompetent. Anyway, my disease. It's called well, the scenario is called Spider Chungus.
Okay.
And I'll read you the synopsis of my scenario because
Sure.
Because let me just open the app.
Trying to cry.
Oh man. Spider Chungus. In the depths of a WHO lab, a new disease stirs. Forged from a deep desire to become one with Big Chungus. However, a complication occurred. The strain mutated the host into a homosexual spider human.
Oh boy.
This is not a joke that's going to reach outside of our group.
The index patient was corrupted and had one objective: convert the world into homosexual spider humans.
That's like an original sci-fi movie you'd like channel 57 like $5, yeah.
Channel.
Yeah.
It's like an asylum film.
Yeah, yes, that's it. That's what I was looking
for.
So obviously transmissions obviously love is in the air, people become horny for no reason, and then it just devolves. Like the more you upgrade it, and the maximum transmission upgrade is laying pipe, everyone starts bagging for some reason. That's the description. But there's other transmission types such as worship the evangelical establishment of gay spider.
Right.
And cult following.
That's already an oxymoron.
That has been Hotel Wiki. It's a fucking... Then there's an escalation of symptoms that go from ironic memes to a political party to a global takeover.
Oh,
in which you can develop. There's two symptom paths. There's either the government takeover one, in which Gay Spider becomes a mascot of governments worldwide, and they start building. Oh no! They start building monuments. And then there's the other path, which is everyone develops autism, and then they get a headache because they're so based, and then eventually become telepathic and all kill each other because they can't control how based they are.
Oh.
And why'd you have to bring this up? It's not fair. You can't do this to me. It took 4 hours. It took 4 fucking hours developing this. I tried to balance it as well. It's so fucking like I played it and I was like, okay, here we go, and I like won within like fucking 5 minutes. So I retuned it and locked the difficulty on like brutal. And now it's like actually challenging, I think. So yeah, Spider Chungus on Playgame. Go and play it.
It's an excellent game.
It is fucking hilarious. Now let's move on to. I don't know. Obviously, we had 2 things from last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Have we all consumed our 2 bits of content?
I've consumed one.
I've consumed one.
Oh.
Was it also the movie, Ben?
Actually, no, that's a complete lie. I consumed 2, but the second one was unintentionally. I've seen the movie, yeah.
Okay, good.
And I just remembered you asked me to listen to In Rainbows, but I listened to it anyway, forgetting that you asked. Like, I literally just listened to it anyway, so I have no problem with that.
Has Ben become based? Listen to Radiohead out of choice.
I know, it's just like...
I just subconsciously listened to it in Rainbows.
I don't know, I just gave it a listen this week, but then literally, as you said, 2 pieces... Oh! That's so weird. To be fair, I gave it a... Yeah, I listened to it... Well, I listened to their music first time, like, a couple years ago, but again, I just didn't really click with it, so... Over the last few months, I've been, like, exploring like music and stuff, and I've got into them now. I think I'm of the age where I can kind of appreciate it a bit more, because when you're like 17 or stuff, you're like, this is dumb and boring, but then you listen to it again and you're like, okay, yeah, like this is good.
To be fair, you do need a high IQ to understand Radiohead.
Yeah,
of course, yeah. It's the world's smartest band.
It's hard. It's tough music. It's tough music.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Imagine Dragons.
Saying that with a massive grin on my face as a joke. Do not now, because this is the fucking problem, right? You make one joke about, like, you pretend to be based like Radiohead pretentious arsehole, and then people are like, oh my god, actually, oh my god, you listen to that, you're fucking, you cringe. Shut up.
But we are pretentious assholes, and we are cringe.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Me and Joe, but
In Rainbows is really cool, but I don't know if we should talk about it if Tyler hasn't listened to it, just because it might be better if we talk about.
No.
Yeah, we can hold out.
No, you guys can go ahead if you really want.
I'm gonna say let's talk about it next week when we've all.
Tyler doesn't want to listen to it.
No, I did.
I'm excited to listen to Luke's opinion as well, and obviously he's not here this week, so
yeah.
I think we'll just save it for next week, because and then we'll still do a film recommendation for next week, but because I'm fairly certain Luke will probably listen to it. So
whose turn is it anyway for the film recommendation?
It's either mine or Luke's.
Ooh,
I think it's mine.
I think it's Tyler's.
Yeah.
Let me think. Hang on, I'm just doing it. So it went. It went
Joe, Tyler, Ben, Luke.
It goes Has Been Hotel, which is me.
Yep. Has Been Hotel,
Tintin. Yes, it's Tyler, because Tyler comes after Joe.
Yeah.
JTBL. Oh yeah.
JTBL. It's a good sandwich.
Yeah.
J Table.
Yep.
J Table. Just remember J Table.
Yeah.
No. I will not.
I refuse.
No, I'm not refusing. I just can't.
Oh, fair enough. That's very honest.
I've got dyslexia. I just can't remember anything.
Oh.
It's like brain dyslexia. Anyway, I guess it's time to talk about Thunderbirds.
As opposed to muscle dyslexia, Joe.
It's time.
Brain dyslexia. You silly fart.
Muscle dyslexia is just Tourette's, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. Lung dyslexia is just new. funny. Right, shall we start with the monstrosity you asked us all?
What do you monstrosity?
Well, no, I exaggerate. It was.
Oh no, it's sick.
I
love it.
It is very sick.
Thunderbirds 2004, directed by someone.
You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. It's the guy who hosted. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was no. I wish. No, it was directed by.
He's dead.
What, Anton de Beck? Anton de Beck is not dead.
No, season 1 of The Hole in the Wall.
Anton de Beck's a racist.
It's directed by Jonathan Frakes, who was in. He's one of the dudes in Star Trek, and he hosted.
What Star Trek?
Some cringe ass TV show.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's not Doctor Who though, is it?
I swear he hosted the reboot of the Twilight Zone, not like the new one, but like the 80s. But I don't know. He hosted one of the shows. Oh no, I think it was Beyond Belief, Fact and Fiction. Yeah.
Oh.
So he hosted that.
So he hosted Deadly 60.
So he's got to do.
Oh yeah,
good
Steve Backstrom.
Yeah, so Steve Backstrom directed Thunderbirds 2004.
But he's an actor, and this was one of his few times directing. He directed the Thunderbirds movie.
With an immense budget. Or actually, to be fair,
it's a decent budget.
57 million.
You got to remember this is 2004 though, so pop another 20 mil on there from inflation, maybe 25. So almost 100 million.
I'm sorry, I didn't know 2004 was also like 1930s depression America.
Well, it is quite a big jump.
Oh yeah, because
you'd be surprised.
I forgot Obama got elected.
You got to, well, 2008 economic crash was probably what I was thinking of.
No,
let's go with that.
It's Obama. It's his fault.
Yeah.
It was his fault that Deutsche Bank fucking awful corrupt arsehole. It's his fault.
Oh, well.
Nah, that was the Krauts.
The film. The film just makes me sad that Bill Paxton is dead. No, because I love Bill Paxton.
Which one's Bill Paxton?
The dad, the main dude, the main Thunderbird.
Oh, I don't care about him. I like the butler.
No, how can you say you don't care about Bill Paxton, bro? He's the Dinkster. How dare you?
He literally is the Dinkster, to be fair.
He's the Dinkster in Spy Kids, bro. He's also the only actor to be killed by a Terminator, an alien, and a Predator. So that's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
So obviously Thunderbirds 2004 has really, the reason I chose it is not just because of how sick it is.
Okay, oh, that's why I assumed you chose it.
Because it is wicked. It's fucking mad sick. However,
somebody really the Dingster.
There are so many moments in it that are like so specifically strange. I don't know how many you guys picked up.
I got quite a few. I have many questions.
There are just details that were just laying about this film that you're just like, what? And it's just a loose end. Like, they don't get mentioned again. I don't know if anyone has any specific ones that they can point out, because I know I can point one out immediately.
I have many questions.
Yes.
I think the problem with the film, like, it's not horrible. I enjoyed this film.
The one problem.
Yeah, the single.
No. There are many. But the one defining problem of this film is that it doesn't know what it is. In that it's like this is my evidence.
I think it's a movie.
So it goes from like the ending is very like emotional, and it's very like classic, like, you know, they got the music and stuff, but then you cut to 20 minutes earlier in the film where people are beating each other up and there's cartoon sound effects over it. Like, it's just there's no consistency in what it is, because at 1 minute it goes, it's like, oh, fun teen action adventure, and then it's like slapstick comedy, and then it's like thriller, and it's like it's too much, and it's also nothing like the original Thunderbirds, and it makes me very sad, because I like
the reason I love it is because it's just dense.
That's the perfect word for it.
It's just so chaotic.
Standout performances, all of them.
Yes,
there's some serious scenery chewing in this film.
It's so good. Like, I'm going to say Black Dude, actually scary. He's actually terrifying. He's as fucking...
He's not terrifying. I just thought, who gave this man the right to
I do believe it was
go that hard?
He went ridiculous. There's a bit where he just starts fucking shouting. I can't remember what he says, but he just starts fucking absolutely bollocking people. I'm like, fucking hell.
It's just...
The bit
why isn't the movie about the Thunderbirds? I don't get that.
It is.
No, it isn't. It isn't about the Thunderbirds.
They are the Thunderbirds.
It's about the next generation of the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, what
the next generation
make their money back?
Yeah, the next generation, but everyone who's a member of the Thunderbirds is like in their 20s or a 50-year-old man. So it doesn't really work.
Bill Paxton's a child at heart, so...
Yeah, to be fair.
I love how the fucking, like, the scientist guy is just called Brain. He's called Brains.
I also love how his son has his exact same personality. down to that, it's a hereditary stutter.
So
a genetic stutter.
How did he have a kid?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
That was actually one of the major points on a Letterboxd review I was reading after I saw the film, and it was, how did this man have a kid? Somebody said they grew him in a petri dish, which I think is very valid. Also, the main actor isn't the character anyway. Is an arse, and I don't like him at all. And all the other characters around him are infinitely more likable than the main character. So that's
like the girl called Tintin.
Well, I mean, she's fine. She's pretty like Disney Channel, you know, like a la live action Dora kind of.
There is a moment like it seems like it's in the second act low point where Tintin calls
This
them...
movie doesn't have structure. Don't reference.
Well, that's what I'm saying in what it seems like, where Tintin calls the main character an asshole, or something like that.
They said you're a jerk.
Yeah, like, why are you such a jerk? And that should be the bit where the characters split up, but no, they just carry on as if nothing happened, and it's never addressed again. He just stays a jerk.
It's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, no, and there's that bit where he's like, they're like, you can't get. Yeah, he insults the kid's stutter for no reason.
Yeah, he does. He goes hard on him.
And then they're like, "Wow, you should be such a jerk," and they should walk off. But then they continue with his.
Yeah,
plan.
they just
and they're like,
put up
"It's
with
too
this
dangerous."
Asshole.
They're like, "It's too dangerous," and he's like, "I don't care," and then he does it anyway. It's like, what? And they go with him. It's baffling. It's just baffling.
Does anyone worry that Thunderbird 5 kind of has the potential to glass the Earth at any point? It's deadly. It's literally a space station.
No, because they got a bunch of puppets running it. Ben Kingsley walks a wonderfully fine line between hating the fact that he's there and scenery chewing. It changes scene to scene. Some scenes you think, oh my, he looks like he wants to die.
He's
and then
so
some
good.
scenes he just drops.
Even in this film, he's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's very hard to see a bad Ben Kingsley.
He's just there.
It's not fair.
They brought him on. They needed a veteran for the project because then
it's so cool. He's called the Hood.
It's not a legit early 2000s teenager action romp unless there's one veteran playing the villain or the adult or something. It's like Sky High with Bruce Campbell.
Was he Gandhi?
Yeah, he is Gandhi.
Ben Kingsley was Gandhi.
Ben Kingsley was Gandhi.
Any white?
Yeah.
Okay.
And no, do you know what's actually crazy?
No, that's fine.
Ben Kingsley was born in the same town as Gandhi.
Oh.
Yeah, he was raised in England, but he was born in India, and he was born in the same town as Gandhi, and his surname Kingsley is from the Kingsley building in the town where he was born. So there's it's in the Gandhi in the film. It's the Kingsley Institute. It's where the viceroy of the area has his offices and stuff. It's called the Kingsley Building or something. So that's just a weird thing that he's born in the same place of.
Oh, to be fair, if your surname was named after where you were born, that would suck.
Yeah, he's
Tyler West Suffolk Hospital.
He was born Krishna Pandit Banji. That is his birth name. Kingsley.
That's a dumb name. Ben Kingsley works better.
Okay, well. Anyway, Thunderbirds.
Obviously, we've got Mr. Magpie from the Wire episode of Doctor Who.
You're getting too niche here, Joe.
As Parker.
England.
That's not even the best moment of his character in the film.
He has so many good moments. It's annoyingly good.
He's the best character. He is the best character.
He's awesome.
He gives his all. It's certainly a wonderfully.
He just starts bashing mans in the fucking kitchen.
If there's a spectrum, do you know what? If there's a spectrum of stupid children's movie by actual actors, and the spectrum is Peter Fonda in Thomas and the Magic Rose, the opposite would be Ron Cook in this. He gives. As Parker, he's on it.
He's on it.
He is the character.
I like how they couldn't have a Rolls Royce as Lady Penelope's car because Rolls Royce didn't want to be associated with the film, so it's just a Ford.
She's got a pink Ford KA.
It's a sick looking car though. I'm not gonna lie. It's
got 6 damn wheels, goddamn.
I'd drive it.
I would.
It's just
it's pink, but I'd still drive it though.
This movie's weirdly sexual as well, but then again, most early 2000s.
No, it is, isn't it? It's fucking odd.
Uncomfortably.
She pulls out the brush, wire, doesn't she?
Yeah,
and she's like, didn't need it anyway, and he's like, of course, ma'am.
Yeah, and then that tooth monster of a woman climbs on Brain, and she's trying to
Transom.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I got in my notes. Transom makes squeaky noise. Because.
Oh yeah, she gets kicked in the arse.
No. Yeah, but when she walks this, they added in really loud, like rubber squeaking.
I reckon
Yeah,
that was just
they
the
did.
actual on-set costume noise.
No,
That's my
it's,
theory.
no, it's like SpongeBob squeaky boots level fucking squeaky.
No, Ben, you can tell that's not from that room.
It's insane.
If we're gonna
The
talk sound,
reverb does not match.
It's diabolical.
if we're gonna talk sound and diabolical, we should talk about who directed the fight scenes and why they should be hanged. Because the sound design.
I don't know, Ben, because in my notes it says fight scenes go insane. So
Do you know what they had? They had a free like Looney Tunes royalty-free sound effects pack, and then they forgot to put them in. And they're like, "Where do we put them?" And they're like, "Oh, just put a different noise every time someone gets punched." That's what they said. It's just what? I'm not saying I want like Bourne Identity level fight realism, but considering the fight level of violence is on par with Bourne Identity, maybe don't put like a massive like.
This is the thing, like the fight scenes they are quite intense for a fucking kids film. Like,
apart from bollocking up everything, the one thing this film does get right is what the original series gets right. Also, is that the vehicles are sick and you want to drive one.
yes.
No,
Apart from Thunderbird 3, that shit's lame.
I don't
No,
want to
it's still kind of Kino.
They're all,
Thunderbird
they're
4,
all
lame.
horrible. I want the space station because I feel like it could just mac around the Earth.
I've got in my notes also Ad Astra ripped on Thunderbirds. Because let's be fair, Thunderbird 5 is just it. The Thunderbird 3 going and saving him from Thunderbird 5. It's just Ad Astra but better. So
I think Thunderbirds.
That's subplot.
Right.
I think Thunderbirds took what 2001 strived to do and perfected it.
Yeah, no, to be fair, it did.
Yeah, why isn't the film about the Thunderbirds? Why isn't it already in the Thunderbirds? I don't get that. Just make it about the team already. But they're in the movie for 10 minutes, and then we've got to put up with this Disney Channel.
It's brilliant.
Dude, what's his name? Alan, and then hang on.
Why is he called Alan?
Alan Tracy.
It's a dumb name.
Alan Titchmarsh.
I have to look this up. Fermat, yeah, the goof.
Fermat.
And then Tintin, and we got to watch this Disney Channel level like romp. And you're just like, just show the Thunderbird, just have the Thunderbird.
What I just find funny is that like the black guy, I think he's called like Million or something.
Yeah, Million.
Million. He has got like he is literally chasing children around an island in order to beat them up, / imprison them, / kill them. He is driven by a fury that he wants to assault these children.
Yeah.
Like he's so determined.
He's the villain.
No, but it's so weird how close they get to actually just assaulting kids.
Right, so it's shown
Ridiculous.
it's shown twice that he puts children in a freezer.
Yeah, exactly. And he has immense super strength. Don't forget that.
And
as well.
both times he puts them in the freezer, he says, "You need to cool off, kid."
And then he laughs.
Yeah, he laughs at his own joke.
Yeah! I mean, wouldn't you? That's fucking sick. It's, a few more details that I don't know if you guys picked up is using braces as a
Welding.
fucking transmitter.
No, doesn't he use it as a solder?
I think he
uses it.
Which doesn't work. It doesn't work at all.
They solder a transmitting thing or some shit, and then there's the stone skimmer.
Why is that in the film?
I don't know, but I want one. I can't skim stones. I never have.
You could dangerously injure someone with that.
Oh yeah, they use it to press a button at range, don't they?
Oh yeah.
It's OP.
Just to reaffirm what douchebag Alan is, that bit where the phone stops working, so he just throws it away. And then they wrote a Fermat line saying, because he yells like, "Oh, it doesn't work," and he throws it, and then he goes, and then Fermat's like, "Well, it won't now." Like they acknowledged that they had Alan, the main character, was supposed to care about his problem, just like throw a tantrum and throw their thing away, and then the other character's like, "Oh shucks, Alan, why'd you have to go and do that?" It's like, it's just
Oh shucks.
It's a confusing movie. Like every element of this is.
I think it makes sense because
the visual effects are very good for the time.
It's weirdly good.
Apart from the submarine, the fucking evil submarine.
No, shut up.
It's like a black fucking brick just floating underwater.
Yeah, it looks villainy.
Okay, fair enough.
Villains have
let that
edges.
pass. But yeah, 2004, the VFX aren't terrible.
What else came out that year? Like the year before,
well,
the last Lord of the Rings
Return
came
of
out.
the King.
Yeah.
That's a little unfair.
What else came out in 2004?
Is it Spider-Man? No, it's not Spider-Man 2. That's
No,
surely
Spider-Man
not.
2 was 2000. Oh no, it was 2004.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
you're right.
2004.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. It looks better than Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 2 is the better film.
Yes, most wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I don't think that one's close.
Another detail, obviously, being that London just has like monorails.
Yes.
It's the
Why?
future.
Yeah, but it's
It's
not.
the future.
No, but it's like a shared universe. Like in the Avengers, not like the Avengers Tower. In Thunderbirds, they have a London rail.
It's hilarious.
It's an alternate future. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Do you think it's an alternate future like in Wolfenstein where the Nazis won World War II?
No, it's where the Thunderbirds won the war. they're the world government.
And now they reign supreme over MI6. That is the UK's secret police.
It's just, I don't get it.
Panhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so weird. Why?
we were-
He's not the main character.
Me and Joe were talking about this film earlier today, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Panhead. Who plays Panhead?" I was like, "What? Who's Panhead?" Thinking
And I was like,
is that an actual
Bruce.
character in the film?
It is.
And then I watched it and I was like, "Oh, that's Panhead. Do you think maybe he'll come back again?" And he does not.
No.
No, it's just a joke that a child wears a pan on his head.
Nicola,
and his mum says, "Just get in the car, Panhead."
Nicola,
And she's credited as Panhead's mother.
literally my point. Nicola Walker is the actress who plays Panhead's mother. But I thought when they showed it, they dedicated the opening of the scene to this kid wearing a pan on his
Oh my
head.
god, Joe.
He's wearing a pan, and then I think, okay, so this is going to be like a character introduction, and then it just it cuts away and never shows him again. It's the most strange thing I've ever seen. It gave me whiplash. I was like, what?
It's such a good joke. It's so good.
I'm
It's
okay,
so
Joe,
bad.
Joe, you may like it, but I wouldn't call it a good joke. I don't think in any
His mother calls him Panhead, and then we just don't hear about it again. It's a loose end. No, like
so weird, honestly.
they just pulled a Widows and just didn't explain it.
That's a good reference. Don't go for Steve like that, though.
Sorry, Steve McQueen.
He directed Thunderbirds.
Yeah, Steve McQueen and I think Guillermo del Toro did this one.
I think Guillermo del Toro did like set design and.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro was like, I painted Thunderbird 3 red because I like the color red. I like.
Yeah, that's
I
an
like-
inhale. Right there.
I like to think about color. Very good, yes.
By the way, Ben, Joe was referencing the audio commentary, director commentary for Pacific Rim, where he's like, "Yes, I try to put the color red in as little as possible to symbolize anger or whatever," and like, there's just a giant red robot in it, isn't there? What are you on about?
To be fair, Guillermo del Toro can do what he likes. I don't care. I love the man. But Pacific Rim is epic in that the script is written by someone who doesn't fully understand English.
And you
Like,
can
it's not-
tell.
And you can tell, yeah.
tell.
That's what I mean. That's my one problem with Pacific Rim is the script is weak in
It's
dialogue.
wacky. It's
Yeah,
It's
wacky.
The
wacky
rest of the film,
fuck.
very keen. I've got no problem with Pacific Rim. It's a very Kino film. It's just the dialogue's a bit. But if it was like, you know,
I
if they
forgot
hired
John
some.
Boyega was in it.
No, that's the second one.
Yeah, he's in the
Oh,
second
is
one.
it?
Yeah.
He's not in
Oh,
the first
that
one.
makes
He's
sense.
Idris Elba's son.
Oh, yes, of course. Idris Elba's in the first one. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And
Because
then there's
he's
Charlie
really
Hunnam. Is it Charlie Hunnam?
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Charlie Hunnam. Yeah.
Charlie Day as well from It's Always.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
He's the bad guy in the second one. Why
Do you know what?
Why they do that?
They traded it so he would be in Pacific Rim if Guillermo del Toro was It's Always Sunny, and that's why he's in it.
The other
Is that
scientist is
actually how that worked?
I believe that is true.
the other scientist is also in It's Always Sunny.
Yeah,
He's in the Charlie Gets Smart one.
He is.
Yeah.
That's fucking where I know him from.
he does the
Yeah.
Charlie Flowers for Charlie. Yeah,
That's
Is that what it's called? Flowers. for
yeah,
Charlie.
because it's based off the Flowers for Algernon short, where they give a guy brain medicine, he gets clever, and then he devolves into an actual brain dead person. But Charlie's already brain dead, so it's funny.
So
I've grown quite weary. Is he doing an
weary.
accent?
Oh god, I got final few bits about Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Oh, we're still going.
Yes. The Thunderizer is hilarious. It cuts a perfect rectangle for people to walk through and he says time to Thunderize before he presses the button. No one heard him. He wasn't saying it to anyone. He just
saying it to us, Joe. Saying it to the audience.
Time to Thunderize.
What's the other one called?
Firefly, and it just launches cum.
Yeah, genuinely, I was astonished at the impact that goo had on the stuntmen. Like that looked like it hurt. They full on war cannoned the stunt people.
They
That looked.
I appreciate that the huge black guy, Mullion. He's obviously walking. He's obviously walking fine for a bit in the phone. And he's like, oh wait, I shouldn't be walking fine.
Oh wait, I have to fall over. So he just fucking cunts himself on the floor.
Hey, Thunderbirds 2004 walked so Pacific Rim could run.
It's, to be completely honest, I love it.
It's great.
I can't lie.
To be completely honest, it's above criticism.
It is.
Although I like the original Thunderbirds, so
I have to admit, right? If there is one thing of genuine quality to take away from this, that's the opening title sequence, like the 2D animated opening title sequence.
Oh yeah, that's really
excellent.
good.
It's actually good.
Yeah.
It's
also the takeaway is the reference to the show in that there's one shot of a puppet hand on a lever. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, it's obviously to the Thunderbirds original show. Like anytime they'd show like a hand pulling a lever, it'd be like a real human hand, and the rest is puppets. But they reversed it here, so it's live action. And it just cut, but it caught me so off guard because it's like it's when they're about to take off to go fly to London, and the kid's hand is just like, and you can see the strings pulling the thing. And I was like, it was just so. I was like, what? What?
But did you not see the other reference that they did?
No, what was that?
Well, they made the movie bad, like the original show. So like,
Shut up.
Hey, I can't remember what movie it was of Thunderbirds, but one of them gave me childhood trauma. I think it was the one where they go to Mars. I think it's the no, it wasn't the puppets. It was the when they went to Mars and there was these weird aliens. I was like, what the yeah, it was terrifying.
Ben, that's Mars Needs Mums, and that's a different movie.
no, that is terrifying in itself because it's disgusting to look at.
Because it almost had Seth Green in it.
No, it does have Seth Green in it.
Oh,
no,
gosh. Speaking of
he's the main kid.
No, I thought they replaced him.
No, he did all the motion capture and stuff.
Oh.
Seth Green's given me a good idea for my next suggestions.
No. You said two other fantastic suggestions. You didn't pick them. Pick one of them. You saw it.
I forgot what they were. I can remember.
Well, one of them was Warship Down.
Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Incorporated. I feel like that's what I said last.
No, that's not what you said.
No, that was not at all.
Anyway, let's do final thoughts on Thunderbirds 2004. I just need to quote the Busted song. It always looks so cool when spaceships come out the pool.
Oh, that really is the cherry.
It's a banger,
cake, isn't it? That is
Busted. Banger.
Busted did the theme. Get that pit. Do you have to fall in that Busted do your movie?
It's so fucking sick. It's such a perfect fucking.
Well, no, to be fair, Ben, who did the Mission Impossible 2 theme?
Oh,
Limp Bizkit.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but Limp Bizkit are eons above Busted.
Yeah, and Mission Impossible 2 is a big shit, so like, what of it?
Right.
Go hard.
Actually, that reminds me. I was doing some reading on this, and originally it was going to be a theme by Radiohead, but then it got replaced at the last minute to be Busted.
By Sam Smith.
Is that a joke?
Yeah, Joe. I'm obviously referencing Spectre.
No,
Radiohead did not, at the height of their fame after releasing Kid A, do the Thunderbirds movie soundtrack, and they went, do you know what? Not quite what we're looking for. Let's call Busted.
No, they dropped King of Thieves 2003, so everyone was like, oh, it's that album. So
maybe the Thunderbirds theme is on King of Limbs. I wouldn't know because no one in the world.
There's difference between King of Limbs and King of Thieves. I think it's called King of Thieves.
No, it's King of Limbs. Sorry.
No. You see, Oh, Hail to the Thief. That's.
You're mixing your Kino.
I am. I'm mixing my music Kino. I am. Hail to the Thief. Anyway, they released that like 2003, and that was kind of like a. I don't like that one, but you know that they got a bit political on it because of George Bush. So I was like,
bro, have they ever made something that isn't political?
No, alright. Well, no. The Kid OK Computer aren't necessarily political.
OK Computer is very political.
It's not political. It's terrible.
I would argue in Rainbows is probably their least political.
There's a difference.
It doesn't have a theme. It doesn't have. It just is. It just exists.
It's just good music. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a syrup. You know.
Oh. Slush puppies. Right.
Oh.
Slush puppies. Their syrup is essentially just squash, which means technically they are a form of squash on the rocks.
No, because that syrup, like if you drink it without any dilution, you will just get a headache immediately.
No, because if you add water to it, it just becomes squash. Right?
I guess that.
So it's on ice. It's the syrup on ice.
Oh my god, Slushy's a squash on the rocks!
Yes.
But it's done properly because there's actually water in there as well.
Shut up, Ben.
It's slushy.
Those were good.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts?
There are nothing. My brain thinks.
Oh, fuck.
I have no thoughts.
5 out of 5. Fuck it. It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beyond criticism, so it's a 10 out of 10. I'm fairly sure that's why I've given it on Letterboxd already. So, yeah. There's no real thing you can hate about this. This film is not hateable. You can't hate it.
I disagree. I hate the lead. But you see, I was going to give it a 6 rating, but now you've both given it 10. I have to give it a 10. No, I don't think it's a 10. But
is that the first all 10?
It is. Thunderbirds. We're never going to top it. We can't top it.
That's incredibly cursed.
We'll watch The Lighthouse, and then everyone has to be. If you don't know The Lighthouse, you're not on the podcast, okay?
Okay. How about when we all go see June? Surely that's going to be it.
I was thinking, should we talk about Uncut Gem next week as like a a start topic? I don't not as like the main film, but like as
watch it. You might as well watch it as well. Yeah.
I've seen it twice in like the last couple of weeks because it's so good.
I really want to watch it because I like Adam Sandler.
Seriously, I like Adam Sandler. Tyler, it's a really good film. It's so good.
I like the Safdie brothers. They're just producing good kino.
Yeah, they're solid. It almost, to be fair, that film almost lost me in the middle, and then it got me straight back. So, you know, it's good. Thank you for watching.
No.
Whoa! I've got
next week.
Oh my god!
Whoa.
Shit! I'm sorry.
Sorry. I've just got a few quick fire movie news.
Okay, we get quick fire movie news.
Get some quick takes from you boys. So let's have a look at what we got. There's a sequel to live action Aladdin coming.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Pretend it far.
What they're going to do with it? Who knows?
Why would they do it?
Unless they're going to do Aladdin Return of Jafar and Aladdin King of Thieves, as in the direct-to-DVD sequels.
As in the Kino ones.
Yeah, the actual good ones. I'm not watching. Well, I'm not going to watch anyway, but you know.
Did you watch the first one?
What, the live action?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, well, I don't watch the second one then.
But basically saw it. In the cinema.
Yeah, to be fair.
I can't believe they're doing a sequel. So they're not letting up on these films then, these live action things.
Well,
no, people keep seeing them.
They announced a live action Lilo and Stitch as well.
Bambi.
I would just like to think that people don't go and see them, but they fucking do.
Live action Bambi. We've got Mulan coming in a couple of.
Bambi would work.
Live action Bambi.
That's criminal.
Hear me out. Bambi wouldn't work. Mulan might.
Yeah.
Could do.
Lilo and Stitch.
No.
Lilo and Stitch could. Depends how they handle it.
Mulan's not going to work.
Why?
Because it's made by Disney. What you're describing is if it would. Mulan would work if it was like Hero or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like Wire Fu, because that would be Kino. But Disney are obviously not going to do that because they've still got a pander to American people.
The Chinese director was going to go that route, but then they fired their Chinese director and just replaced it with an American. So much for fucking Disney's diversity pool.
Well, no, they're baiting China and America. They can't go one or the other. So that's why Mulan will not be good.
They were going to go full China and be.
They should have.
Yeah, they should have.
That would have been the perfect opportunity.
Yeah. But
Disney don't care, they're whores.
Yeah, I guess.
Shadows on Netflix, by the way.
Yes, I saw that. I put it on my list.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
No, not Shadow the Hedgehog. Nice cock. Not Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow the wire. I think it's still like the kind of wire food stuff. It's by the guy who did Hero. So
yeah, Yu Zhang.
it's gonna be. I'm gonna watch it at some point. I haven't watched it yet.
He also did House of Flying Daggers. I'd highly recommend that if you really like Hero, because House of Flying Daggers is also very, very good. Other quickfire points. We've got. They did that screen test for Robert Pattinson as the Batman.
Oh yeah.
He's looking pretty sick. They released.
It does look good.
Yeah, it looks like a good suit.
That suit looks very interesting. They could go anywhere with it.
Yeah.
I feel like they could be going back to sort of. I got a bit of Tim Burton Batman vibes, a little bit.
Is it true that his Batman logo on his chest is that actually made out of gun parts?
Yeah, apparently it's made of gun parts from the gun that killed his parents. That's
they've said. Tough as shit. That's ridiculously tough.
That's really cool.
Oh my god. That's insane.
Also, Robert Pattinson is hot as fuck.
You don't get fucking sicker than that. The gun that killed my parents is my fucking logo. What the hell?
That's kind of sick.
That's ridiculously sick. Oh my god.
Also in quickfire news, Indiana Jones 5 is going to start shooting this spring.
Harrison Ford's resurrected.
He's 77, I believe. So
is he going to be crashing many planes this time?
No, he's going to be hiding in lots of fridges though.
Joker, Joker stole off him.
Yeah, Joker stole from Crystal Skull.
Joker stole from Crystal Skull. Which one's the better film? Who knows?
Crystal Skull. No, Crystal Skull. If you think otherwise, fuck off.
Yeah, no, I'd go with Crystal Skull, I think.
Yeah.
Do you drink milk, Murray? Do you drink milk? Joker, that's not funny.
Cows died.
Cows died, Murray. You're awful.
Also, we got Eli Roth is directing the Borderlands movie.
Oh fucking hell! It's gonna be. Oh, that doesn't get much worse.
Oh,
Borderlands movie.
Mad Max. What if you watched a Mad Max film without cars? Would you care?
No.
No.
Well,
exactly.
No. Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
No,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
called the Book of Eli with Denzel Washington. It's boring.
Yeah.
Book of Eli's all right. Gary Oldman's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, but except the ending is the book is the Bible, and he memorized it in Braille.
All right.
And he's blind, and he was blind the whole film.
Imagine this.
That's a stupid twist.
Mad Max, no cars, has the sense of humour of Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey.
And Deadpool.
And
would you
Eli
watch it?
Roth.
No.
And Eli Roth being like the biggest shock value director of all time.
He's in Inglourious Basterds there, and that's funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
Also, there was another one. Oh yeah, new Martin McDonagh film. So, and he's got back Colin Farrell and what's his face?
Too.
Yeah, it's the In Bruges cast. I forget his face. Brendan Gleeson, that's the one. So they're making another one.
No, Brendan Gleeson's the fat one.
Donald Gleeson.
Yeah. Even though there is a film called Gleeson, which stars 3 different Gleeson actors unrelated and is directed by a Gleeson.
Donald Gleeson.
No, not Donald.
Donald Gleeson.
That's not what we're saying.
Has it got Ralph
Sorry.
You're wrong.
Has it got Ralph Fiennes?
I hope it does, to be honest. And also, I think to top off, a little quick chip in. What did we think of the new Bond theme?
I like it.
I liked it.
Not listened to it. No, I'd listened to a bit of it, and I just don't like her voice, so I stopped.
Her weird whispery voice is annoying, but she does stop doing it, which makes it a lot more listenable.
How far in does she stop doing it?
About halfway.
Okay, because I got 30 seconds into it and was like, no.
Yeah.
Not done.
Yeah. I don't like the whispery nature of her voice a lot of the time, but she goes places where she hasn't before in her career, which is interesting.
I'm very.
Funny that.
I was
glad it took her like a Bond film to do that.
I was very happy with it because it kind of reflects that this is Craig's last Bond, and his Bond is sort of withered and on the ropes. So I felt that it's kind of like a weaker Bond thing.
It's better than Writings on the Wall by Sam.
Anything's better than Writings on the Wall.
Suffocated.
Oh no! To be fair, you're going off right now, Joe.
It was funny when he said in the interview 20 minutes, as if that was a sign of his talent, and everyone was like, no, it just sucks, and that explains why. Because you took 20 minutes to write the song.
It's good. Leave them out of it.
Jesus, I'm really excited to see the title intro for No Time to Die.
Hopefully
I think
it's good.
how it goes, yeah, because the actual visuals are as important as the Bond song. So imagine if Skyfall had Spectre's visuals, like it wouldn't be as good, was it? But the Skyfall
was really nice.
as a hard opening.
Casino Royale one is tough as fuck.
I prefer the Skyfall, but Casino Royale is very good. Goldfinger as well, like the original's a good one.
Goldfinger.
I mean, the original title sequences they were pioneering. That's Saul Bass, you know. That's the OG stuff.
They're ultimate.
Joe.
Yeah.
How long were you looking for? I just said Joe and Ben said yes. Joe, how long were you looking for Skyfall on Blu-ray?
A while.
Okay, because I went into CEX yesterday in Cambridge, and it was the very first Blu-ray that I saw.
Oh,
what the fuck?
What the fuck?
It was on Blu-ray for like £4.
Oh man, well, I mean, I got all the Craigs now, apart from No Time to Die, so it is Kino.
I really think No Time to Die is going to be very good. I think the signs are there. The trailers are good. The song was good. It's got a good director. It's got a good cast. I don't know. I think it could actually be good.
I think it's people are going to underestimate it because Spectre's retarded.
We knew Spectre was going to be pee pee poo poo when we heard the Sam Smith theme. Like we knew instantly that something was off.
At the time,
I remember being very annoyed when it was released. Like even at the age I was when Spectre came out, I was like, "Why Sam Smith? I hate him."
Yeah, it was Skyfall 2, but bad. Like it was just like it was that same kind of like he was going for those. It's just a poor song. I was just like, oh no.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
I guess
that's it.
let's move on to Tyler's recommendation for next week. Tyler, what is it going to be?
I'm just going to quickly flip a coin to choose between the two.
Oh
dear.
So that one is right, and that's cool.
Wow.
Cool cat.
Right. Okay. So it's Pink Floyd's. It's Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Hey.
Oh damn!
The other option, by the way, was Barnacle: The Mask of Light.
That's really upsetting because I want to watch Bionicle again.
if I was able to choose a middle topic, that would have been it. But because
why don't we do both? Why don't we do both?
What? Both Uncut Gems and Bionicle: The Mask of Light.
And the Wall.
And in rainbows.
And in rainbows.
It's a lot.
It's Kino.
Let's stave off Uncut Gems because you never know. One of us might recommend it at some point.
I doubt it.
Well, no.
I've got to recommend things like Thomas the Magic Railroad yet. So.
Oh, of course.
That's true.
Unless Luke gets there first.
Oh yeah, no, he will definitely beat me to that. I think that's probably going to be his next recommendation.
Wait, no, J Table. Ben comes after Tyler.
I don't know. Actually, no. I don't know. There's so many.
I think my next one's going to be Watership Down on Children of Men because they're both very intrinsic films.
They're Kino. Yeah.
I think my next might be Pink Floyd's The Wall because I just chose it.
Yes, you did.
I think it might be too, Tyler.
So I think I might be the most accurate out of all of us here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done, Tyler.
Good luck finding copies of it.
Joke's on you. Already got one.
Yeah, Ben's got. I don't. I'll find something.
Do you want me to?
No, you can borrow off me, Joe. Don't worry.
Do you want me to rip it onto my PC and I can send you the file?
That could work.
Yeah. It's in like 480p.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it's not fucking Blu-ray because they don't want it on fucking Blu-ray, do they?
Because we're waiting for Roger Waters to keel over.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about the context of the whole thing and their opinions on it.
Oh, I can't wait.
Next time. We'll talk about it. You can give us a nice rundown of that next week.
Yes.
All right.
Love me some.
Bye, everybody. See you next week, bitch.
Bon voyage.
Bye.